Today we'll talk about the sulci and gyri on the different surfaces of the cerebral hemisphere. First, we'll see the sulci and gyri on the medial surface of the cerebral hemisphere. The most important structure present on the medial surface is the corpus callosum. This is corpus callosum. All other sulci and gyri, they are located just above, in front and behind this corpus callosum. Let us see all these sulci one by one. This sulcus, which lies just 1 centimeter above this corpus callosum, this sulcus is called as the cingulate sulcus. It is the most prominent sulcus, which follows a curved course. As you can see, it follows a curved course about 1 centimeter above and parallel to the upper convex margin of the corpus callosum. Anteriorly, it ends below the genu of the corpus callosum. Posteriorly, it turns upward to reach this border. Which is this border? This is superomedial border. To reach the superomedial border of the hemisphere, a little behind the upper end of the central sulcus. This is central sulcus. Okay, this behind this central sulcus. The area between this cingulate sulcus and corpus callosum, this area, it is called as the cingulate gyrus. Another important sulcus here present is the callosal sulcus. This is callosal sulcus. Okay, this sulcus, it separates this cingulate gyrus from the corpus callosum. Now, the part of the medial surface between this cingulate sulcus and this superomedial border of the hemisphere, it is divided by a short offshoot sulcus. This is a short offshoot sulcus which ascend from this cingulate sulcus above the middle of the trunk of the corpus callosum into two parts. A small part around the upper part of the central sulcus. This small part, it is called as the paracentral lobule. This is called as the paracentral lobule. And this larger medial part is called as the medial frontal gyrus. Okay, the boundaries of this paracentral lobule, you should know the boundaries of this paracentral lobule, as this paracentral lobule, it is the highest center of the maturation and defecation. So the paracentral lobule, it is bounded above by the superomedial border of the hemisphere, below by the cingulate sulcus, and posteriorly by the upturned posterior end of the cingulate sulcus. Okay. Now, this posterior part of the medial surface, it has two main sulci. One is the calcarine sulci and another is the parieto-occipital sulcus. The calcarine sulci, it begins as a deep fissure. As you can see, it begins as a deep fissure on the a little below and the posterior end of the corpus callosum, and follows an arched course, okay, and extends slightly on this superolateral surface. This is superolateral surface, so it extends little on the superolateral surface. And this parieto-occipital sulcus, it begins at the midpoint of this calcarine sulcus. From here it begins and course upward and slightly backward to cut this superomedial border of the hemisphere, just about 5 centimeter in front of the occipital pole. This is occipital pole, just 5 centimeter in front of the occipital pole. Okay. Now, this triangular area, as you can see, this is a triangular area. This triangular area between the posterior part of this calcarine sulcus and the parieto-occipital sulcus, this triangular area, it is called as the cuneus. The triangular area between the parieto-occipital sulcus and the paracentral lobule, here, between this parieto-occipital sulcus and paracentral lobule, this area, it is called as the precuneus. Okay, a small sulcus little above and parallel to the splenium, the small sulcus. This small sulcus is called as the suprasplenial sulcus. So these are the sulci and gyri which we see on the medial surface. Now we'll talk about the sulci and gyri present on this superolateral surface. Okay, this superolateral surface, as you know, we divide it into 4 lobes: frontal, parietal, occipital and temporal. We'll see all these sulci and gyri according to these lobes. But first we'll talk about important sulcus, which is the central sulcus, or what we call as the central sulcus of Rolando. Central sulcus, it begins by cutting this superomedial border, okay, about 1 centimeter behind the midpoint between this frontal and the occipital pole. So this is our central sulcus. It runs downward at an angle of 70 degree and ends at the upper level of this lateral sulcus. This is lateral sulcus. Here the central sulcus ends. Now we'll see the sulci and gyri in the frontal lobe. The area in front of this central sulcus is the frontal lobe. This sulcus which you are seeing here, this is the precentral sulcus. It runs downward, forward and parallel and little anterior to this central sulcus, this sulcus. This is central sulcus, this is precentral sulcus. Okay? And the area between this central sulcus and this precentral sulcus, this area, it is called as the precentral gyrus. Anterior to this precentral gyrus, there are 2 sulci present, and these 2 sulci are this one. This is the superior frontal gyrus, inferior frontal gyrus, and they run horizontally. And the area between these two sulci, it is called as the superior frontal gyrus, middle frontal gyrus and inferior frontal gyrus. Now you'll see something in this inferior frontal gyrus. This is the lateral sulcus, and this lateral sulcus, it divides into anterior ascending and anterior horizontal sulci, and also into the posterior. But now here we'll see only the anterior and the anterior ascending rami of the lateral sulcus. The part below this anterior ramus, it is called as the pars orbitalis, and the part between this anterior and the ascending ramus, this is called as the pars triangularis, and the part behind this ascending ramus, this is called as the pars opercularis. Now we'll see the sulci and gyri in the parietal lobe, which lies just behind this central sulcus. This sulcus which you are seeing here, it is called as the post-central sulcus, which runs downward and forward and little behind and parallel to this central sulcus. The area between these two sulci is called as the post-central gyrus. And the rest of the parietal lobule, it is divided into two parts by a intraparietal sulcus. This is intraparietal sulcus, which is dividing this rest of the parietal lobe into two parts. One is the superior parietal lobule and one is the inferior parietal lobule. And this lateral sulcus posterior part, its upturned part, where this lateral sulcus end, this upturned part end in this inferior parietal lobule. Okay. Now we'll see the temporal lobe, sulci and gyri on this temporal lobe. There are two sulci present on this temporal lobe, which run parallel to this posterior ramus of the lateral sulcus, and these are termed as this is superior temporal sulcus, this is inferior temporal sulcus. This sulcus is the inferior temporal sulcus, this is superior temporal sulcus, and the area between these two sulci, it is called as the superior temporal gyrus. Between these two, this area is called as the middle temporal gyrus, and the area below this inferior temporal sulci, it is called as the inferior temporal gyri. Now we'll see the occipital lobe. Occipital lobe, it present three short sulci. One is this one, as you can see, this is lateral occipital sulci, which runs horizontally and divide this lobule into superior and inferior occipital gyri. One is this C-shaped sulcus, which is called as the lunate sulcus. Another one here is the transverse occipital sulcus, which runs downward. Okay, this is transverse occipital sulcus. So with this, we have come to the end of the sulci and gyri on this superior lateral surface. Now we'll see the sulci and gyri on the inferior surface. As you know, the inferior surface is divided into two parts by the stem of the lateral sulcus. One smaller anterior part, which is called as the orbital part, and large posterior part, which is called as the tentorial part. First we'll see the sulci and gyri on this orbital part. This sulcus here, this sulcus is called as the olfactory sulcus. It is a straight sulcus which runs anterior-posteriorly close to this border, this medial border of the orbital surface. It is called as the olfactory sulcus because it lodges the olfactory bulb and olfactory tract. Now, the area which is medial to this olfactory sulcus, this area is called as the gyrus rectus. Another sulcus which we can see here is the orbital sulcus. This orbital sulcus, it is an irregular H-shaped sulcus. As you can see, it is an irregular H-shaped sulcus and divides rest of the orbital surface into anterior, posterior, medial and lateral gyri. The tentorial part, it is marked by the two major sulci that run anterior-posteriorly. The medial one, this is the medial one. This medial one, it is called as the collateral sulcus. This sulcus, it is called as the collateral sulcus. And the lateral one, it is called as the occipitotemporal sulcus. This is occipitotemporal sulcus. Posteriorly, this collateral sulcus, it lies parallel to the calcarine sulcus. See, this is medial surface. As you know, this is calcarine sulcus. Okay. Now, see, this is calcarine sulcus and this is collateral sulcus. Now, the area between these two sulci, this calcarine sulcus and this posterior part of this sulcus, collateral sulcus, this is called as the lingual gyrus. This gyrus is called as the lingual gyrus. Anteriorly, the lingual gyrus, see, this is lingual gyrus, and anteriorly this lingual gyrus is continuous with this parahippocampal gyrus. Parahippocampal gyrus. Anterior end of this parahippocampal gyrus, this end, anterior end of this parahippocampal gyrus, it hooks sharply backwards. Okay, as you can see here, it hooks backward. And is limited, see, and it is limited laterally here. It is limited laterally by a short sulcus. This is a short sulcus which is called as the rhinal sulcus. And this hook-like anterior end, this hook-like anterior end of the parahippocampal gyrus, this region, it is called as the uncus. Okay. Now, the area between these occipitotemporal sulcus laterally, this occipitotemporal sulcus laterally, and this collateral and rhinal sulcus medially, this region, it is called as the occipitotemporal gyrus. Occipitotemporal gyrus. And the area lateral to this occipitotemporal sulcus, this area, okay, this is occipitotemporal gyrus, this area, it is called as the lateral occipitotemporal gyrus. With this, we have come to the end of the sulci and gyri of the external cerebral hemisphere. Thank you.